Hey everyone, welcome to a new kind of video where I share some stories from my time as a maker in the hopes that you guys can learn from my mistakes, or at least laugh at my stupidity. So, I ran a poll on Furry Amino and the most popular option for my next video was the story of how I turned a fursuit pink. Yes, I did unintentionally turn a fursuit pink. So here's the story of that. But before we start, I'd like to give a huge shout out to Inkama on Furry Amino for doing me this awesome badge. She gave it to me at the meet last Tuesday and I'm absolutely in love. Check that out, guys. Hopefully the autofocus will work. If it doesn't, I'm sorry. I'll hold back here. Yeah. So go check our links out. That'll be in the description down below. Yeah. Alright, now that that's out of the way, let's get into the story. Okay, so a few of you may have seen this fursuit by the name of Shush. He was in my commission opening video and is a generally cute and beepy Dutchie. So I got Shush back around Fursuit for a little bit of cleaning and a little bit of airbrushing, and as I cleaned him, I noticed something a little bit off. There was pink bleeding through the white fur. So I immediately started freaking out and finding ways to clean it. First I tried dabbing it with a little water, but it just got bigger. At this point, I start really freaking out. This almost completely white fursuit head now had a little pink tinge to it, and it was probably my fault. So then I start to think what could have caused this. I take a look inside of the head and quickly realized it was the coloured Sharpies I used to trace the fur. I had been given a pack of coloured Sharpies as a gift a few weeks earlier, and to my knowledge at the time, Sharpies were waterproof. Apparently not. It turns out only black Sharpies are 100% waterproof, so keep that in mind when you're using pens to trace your fur. But there was still the issue of the stain. I immediately came clean and apologised tenfold to Shush's owner, who was very nice and understanding about it. I think it took about a week of stain removing to get it out. I learnt many a way to remove stains that week, but Shush eventually was no longer a blushing Dutchie, but a pristine, white and clean Dutchie. So I'd figure I'd share with some of you guys some of the stain removal techniques I learnt and rate their effectiveness. Okay, so first of all you want to identify your stain. In this case it was a Sharpie stain, so if it's a pen or some kind of paint, you want to find its solvent. Solvents are the chemical that dissolves a certain thing. For example, acrylic paints dissolve in water, oil paints can be either dissolved in turpentine or linseed oil, but for the sake of Sharpies and most pens, the solvent is alcohol, specifically rubbing alcohol, which can be found from your local pharmacy. All the methods I'm covering in this video should be used as a resort after you've washed your suit in regular detergent or fursuit shampoo. It's generally a last resort method and some of these are not necessarily first safe, but you know, you gotta do what you have to do. So to clean pen out of your suit, you take a bit of rubbing alcohol and apply it to the area. And take a dry paper towel and dab the area. Don't rub or you'll spread it more. Keep repeating until the stain is gone. Now, at this point on Shush, he just started to get pinker because the rubbing alcohol stirred up the other pen spots that weren't affected before, so I moved on to my second method, baking soda. So to do this method, you'll need a box of bicarb soda, not baking powder, otherwise it won't work. Now you have two options here. You can use bicarb and water or bicarb and lemon juice. Lemon juice will be more effective as the acid will help it oxidize more efficiently. But if you don't want to put yellow stuff into your fursuit, water will do too. Okay, so first you want to take your bicarb soda and rub it into the stain. Then apply your lemon juice or water until it's wet and bubbling. I'm using a mix of the two here. Leave it to sit for about 15 minutes and rinse extremely thoroughly. You don't want this stuff in your suit. So this took most of the pink out of Shush, but there was still some left. So now I brought out the big guns. Stain remover and or carpet cleaner. Please, 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 only use stain remover as an absolute last resort, as it can damage your fur and be a pain in the ass to get out. But first, let's test the effectiveness of the carpet cleaner. So any carpet cleaner will work as long as it's liquid, so we spray some of it on the stain and gently work it into the fur until it foams. Leave it in for about 5 minutes and rub out with a damp cloth and leave it to dry. With the stain remover, follow a similar process except only leave for 1 to 2 minutes. Rinse extremely well. You don't want this left in your suit. And only use this as a very last resort, as stain remover can contain bleach or similar that isn't exactly considered fur safe. Right, let's leave those to dry and see which is most effective. Alright, so I didn't have time to wait for them to dry because I wanted to get this video out by tonight. and it's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon and I need to edit it all together. But let's just have a quick look at which one was the most effective. So I have these in order of when we did them. So first up we have the ice purple alcohol, and as you can see it worked pretty well. Still a little bit of blue tinge on the back, but I'm sure they would come out with a few more repeats. Next we have the bicarb soda. This seemed to work pretty well, but that's probably because I ran it under water afterwards, and you should, because you don't want bicarb left in your suit. Then we have the carpet cleaner. Still a little bit of blue there. It's fine if you're using it on a place like a bodysuit, because you can run that underwater really easily. Just be super careful when you're running it underwater when you have it on a head. Now the last one is the stain remover, which worked pretty much perfectly. So I can honestly say that all three methods are an effective way of stain removing. It's just a matter of where it is on the suit and what you have on hand. Right, so I hope that was helpful for you all to learn from my stupid mistake of using coloured Sharpies to trace out the pattern pieces on the fur. Moral of the story, don't do that. Use fabric chalk. Don't even use black Sharpie, just don't do it. Use a grey, white or black fabric chalk. It will come off, it can come off in one single wash, it won't stain your suit, and it's just going to make your life tons easier. Alright, that was it for today. I hope you guys learnt something, and I will see you in the next video. Hopefully it'll be a hand paw tutorial. I'm getting there. I just need to find a spare moment to make Sky a new pair of hand paws, and I'll show you guys how I do my new ones. Alright, bye bye.